Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. According to the latest reports, the Ricardo Calafiori deal is expected to be finalized in the next 24 to 48 hours, so that is great news. We also have an update in regards to the same from Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio has also given us an update on Jakub Kiwior, and according to reports, it's not only Juventus that want Kiwior, there's actually another top team from Italy that want Kiwior. So could we have a bidding war? Let's wait and see. But first, let's get to the Ricardo Calafiori latest. And this is what has been reported about him from Italy, Italian outlets. Arsenal expect to close the Ricardo Calafiori operation within the next 24 to 48 hours. 50 million euros plus bonuses to Bologna, 40% to Basel. For Calafiori, contract until 2029 at 4 million euros, bonuses included per season. So it's looking like this deal will be finalized in the next 24 to 48 hours, as reported from Italy. We already know how much is going to we're going to pay for him. We already know the contract is going to be a 5-year contract. And yes, in terms of bonuses, we already discussed that one. We don't know yet about the bonuses exactly, like how they've been broken down and how much you're going to pay them in bonuses. But I'm sure you're going to hear a bit of it in the next couple of days. And also on top of that, we already know that a lot of that money will go to Basel. That is why Bologna are trying to get something significant, because if they sold him for like 10 million only, and then 40%, 50% went to Basel, they'll literally be pocketing something like 5 million. So they have to get a significant fee for him. And this is a player that is a really good player. Like if Bologna, I keep on saying, if Bologna kept him for the next 2 years, he could easily be sold for 80, 90 million, like the likes of Gvardiol and those kind of players. Like I can only see him improving. He's only 22 years of age, and I can only see him improving. He just really started his career. If he keeps on playing more games for Italy and the World Cup, the next couple of Euros, all the competitions that Italy are going to play, and on top of that, he features in his first season in the Champions League, whether it's for Bologna, Arsenal. Let's say if he had stayed at Bologna, like it'd be more expensive. But now him coming to Arsenal, I think is going to improve his game even more. His style of play really suits Arsenal, and it allows those kind of players, versatile, comfortable in the ball, a left back, as left center back who can also play as a left back, comfortable with overlapping and inverting. I think this is a dream for it, and I think it would work. It will work out perfectly, and it's really, I cannot wait for him to join Arsenal. So it is going to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours. In terms of him doing a medical and all that, he's currently on holiday in the Maldives, as you can see. So in regards to that, we have to wait for him to come back from his holiday to do the medical. But the medical he will pass. We just need to finalize with Bologna and for his agent to sign and everything, and then we can wait for Calafiori to come and do his medical, and this will be our second official signing of the transfer window after obviously after David Raya, who signed a couple of days ago on a permanent deal from Brentford. That is from Italian outlets. According to Fabrizio, Ricardo Calafiori is currently only waiting for Arsenal after personal terms agreed. It's his clear favorite destination. No talks taking place with PSG, Bayer Leverkusen, or Chelsea. So the ones who would say, even if it's 99% done, there's still a 1% chance that he could end up like a Chelsea. Chelsea could come back in for him, or PSG could come back in for him. I don't think that is going to happen. As Fabrizio has confirmed, there is no talks going on with PSG, Leverkusen, and Chelsea. Chelsea already looking at other targets. I think it's already too late for Leverkusen and PSG to come in for him. I don't think what else they can offer him. We have Champions League football just like them. We're going to be in the title race. We're expecting to be in the title race just like them. England, a lot of people want to play in the Premier League, the best league in the world. A lot of people want to play in London. So we have a lot going on for us, and it's his clear favorite destination. That is usually the problem. If a player is not really sure about whether he wants to play for you, or he wants to play for, Getafe, or he wants to play for Monaco, all that. Now we are sure that the player wants to play for us, and that is very welcoming. And it's easier to get the deal done, and it can even afford the likes of a Tenedu, whoever is doing the deal, a couple of days to finalize the deal without having to hurry up and worrying about other teams coming in for him. So this is a good deal. It's going to be a 50 million euro deal, as already announced. 50 million euro deal. We're not going to pay him too much money per week. It's way less than 100,000. So this is great. So if he comes to Arsenal and he does well, and maybe he even does better than what you expect him to do, and he becomes a regular, whether it's at center back or left back, expecting it to be at left back, and he becomes a very, very integral part of that team, then he can get a new contract and get over 100,000 per week. But as of now, I think that is the right amount of money that you're paying for him. And I think if he had stayed at Bologna over the next couple of years, you'd hear Real Madrid one team, you'd hear Barcelona one team, you'd hear Man City one team. So it's good to jump on players like this early. I always said I don't want to defend this transfer window. Let's get a midfielder, striker, and a winger. But the only way we can get a defender is if it's an opportunity that we can't let go. So, and that only includes like 3 to 4 players. Calafiori is one of them. The likes of Branthwaite, Hart, and those kind of players who you feel like, okay, you're not going to get this chance again to take it to the next level, and these players could be wanted by Man City or Real Madrid in the next year or two, and you're not going to get them again. So this is an opportunity that we had to take advantage of, and we have. He's going to join Arsenal in the next 24 to 48 hours. Medical will be done another time after he comes back from his holiday, but that is according to reports from Italy and also from Fabrizio Romano. For those who are saying, what if another team comes in for him? No team will come in for him. So that's the latest on Calafiori. Let's wait and see what develops throughout this Monday and Tuesday as well. Now, we already know about a player who's going to leave now that Calafiri is coming in, and that is Jakub Kiwior. This is what Fabrizio Romano has had to say. Jakub Kiwior could leave Arsenal in case of good proposal with Ricardo Calafiori close to joining. Understand there's possibility for loan, but only the mandatory buy clause. Italian clubs are keeping close eye to the situation. No formal proposals yet. So it's looking very likely that Kiwior is going to leave. I think from this point on, it's very difficult to see him staying. In terms of him looking, if I'm Kiwior and I'm looking at the rest of the team, yes, you'd want to be part of this team, but from our own personal point of view, you'd be thinking, listen, they now have Calafiori, Zinchenko still in the team, Tomias is back from injury, Timber is back from injury. Where am I going to play? Gabriel is going to play every single game. If he's not there, it's potentially going to be Calafiori, unless he's happy to be a backup for Gabriel, and Gabriel is very capable of playing out of 50 games. He can play a good 46 games out of that. He can look at the left back position, and he was playing there last season. He can be thinking, listen, Zinchenko is here, he's not going anywhere. Tomias is here, Timber is here. I'm not really going to get a chance. So the only way he'd be happy is if he accepts being a backup for either whoever's going to play a left back, Calafiori, or Gabriel at centre back. And I'm not sure he's going to be a left back. He's a regular for Poland. He plays every single day. He's a player that can definitely start. Like, if you take him to like an Aston Villa or Brighton or a Crystal Palace, I can easily see him starting at those teams. Like, he's that good. Like, out of the 20 Premier League teams, okay, let's use the other 19 apart from Arsenal. Out of the other 19 teams, I can see him starting for at least 12, 13 teams. So he's not a terrible player at all. He's a very, very good player, and he can play at those teams. So from his own point of view, he'd be thinking, I can go elsewhere and play fast team football instead of just sitting here and being on the bench. I don't see myself like taking over from any of those defenders that Arsenal have. And another thing you need to think about, was it just a meantime kind of buy, just for now kind of buy? For me, I think he's done well for Arsenal, more than I expected him to do. His first couple of games for Arsenal weren't great, but since then, especially last season, he was good. He improved in terms of defending and attacking. Yes, there was a couple of lapses, a couple of poor games, but majority of the time he was very good for us, more than anyone expected. And for the kind of money that we bought him for, I think he did a great job for us. So no bad blood towards Kiwi. I think he's going to do well wherever he goes. So as I said, from a personal point of view, he's probably potentially thinking like, listen, where am I going to play? But from the team point of view, they're thinking 7 defenders is enough. And, we need to cash in on him right now. Maybe after his good season, we need to cash in on him and make a profit for him. We've always lost players on a free and lost players on a cheap. Maybe it's now time to start. If we buy a player and they improve after 2 seasons, we get rid of them and we get a profit. And then we go buy more quality. After 1 year, again, if someone else becomes available, you get rid of this player, you make a profit on them quickly. And then you continue the cycle and then keep on winning titles and you keep on improving the team every year. I mean, Man City, sometimes I look at their team and I'm like, they are selling this guy, but they keep on improving. They still keep on winning titles, Over the last 3-4 years, they've gotten rid of Jesus, Sterling, Zinchenko, Sane, Aguero left, Gundogan left, Mahrez left, Laporte left. Like, they've gotten rid of so many players that I'm like, this player is really good. Gundogan just won them the league. Out he goes. Mahrez just won them the cup. out it goes. Son is Sterling, this combination, out it goes. Jesus just got them to 100 points in the Premier League. Out it goes. Like, they keep on improving the team, so maybe we will go in the same direction. But it's not just Juventus that want him. According to reports from Italy, Inter Milan have inquired about Jakub Kiwior. Juventus are also interested, but he is not their priority at the moment, while Napoli need departures in that position before pursuing a move. Arsenal value Kiwior at least 20 million euros, however, could be open to a loan with an obligation to buy. So Inter Milan are in the race now to sign Kiwior, which takes me back to the point. Like, there's a lot of good teams that want him. 3-4 years ago, the time you're trying to sell Bellerin, you can even add Tini to that list, especially the likes of Mustafi and Socrates. How many teams did you hear want Socrates? How many teams did you hear they want David Luiz? We were struggling to sell these players. We had to cancel a couple of contracts and we were stuck with these players. But now for a player like Kiwior, we are hearing a team like Inter Milan want him. Champions League final 2 seasons ago. Last season, champions of the Scudetto. Very, very good team, especially defensively. That defense of, Bastoni and De Vrij and DeMarco and Dumfries, all these guys, and Damian as well. And at the back, they've had players like Onana when he was good, and Sommer. They've had some really good players, and defensively, Inter Milan is very strong. So for them to look at a player like Kiwior to come and add to their team, that is very promising. That means it's a very good player. It's a player that can get to go to a big team as well. After leaving us, so he's not just going to go to a team battling relegation or anything like that. No, he can end up at an Inter Milan, he can end up at a Juventus and all those teams that want him. AC Milan also said they want him, and according to reports as well, Napoli could also want him. So 20 million euros still seems a bit low for me, especially these teams wanting him. I know Italian teams are not going to splash 50 million, but we can add it a bit. You can get a sort of I don't know, sort of battle for bidding war between these teams, and let's get at least 25, 28 million euros, which is around 22, 23 million pounds. That would be great. That would be a huge profit that we can use elsewhere, and you can use as part of the Calafiori deal. He's also wanted by Napoli. Could we use him to get Osimhen? If you're really serious about Osimhen, that could be a plan as well. But Napoli are not going to, as it's written. That brings us to Osimhen as well. Napoli need departures in that position before pursuing a move. Now, if they sell defenders, they also kind of need that money from the likes of Osimhen to be able to buy Kiwior. But I don't know which defenders are going to leave Napoli. But Kiwior is a player that is wanted by a lot of teams, which is good for him. After he leaves Arsenal, we wish him all the best. I think he did well for us last season. One of those players as well that deserved a Premier League medal around his neck. Hopefully, when he wins the Premier League medal title, we can send him a medal or something, or he can come and play for us the last 3 games. He was never complained. Didn't seem like a character who would complain. We'd bring him on for the last 10 minutes. He'd do his job. He could start at left back. Really helped us at left back because we didn't have our players at left back last season. He came to that position and played. I remember when Holding played poorly at the end of 2 seasons ago, we brought in Kiwior on the right side of Gabriel, and he did the job for us for the last couple of games. We won them. So Kiwior, I think, is done well for that kind of money we bought him for. And when we bought Jorginho and Kiwior in the same transfer window, people are like, this is very underwhelming. But it's turned out to be, out of those 2 players, if you had to rate them, out of 10 in terms of overall and average, I'd say those players have come to Arsenal. They're solid 7 out of 10 in terms of what they've done for us the last 18 months. If you combine them together, I think it's a solid 7 out of 10. So all the best to him. Let's see how this one develops, which team is going to end up at. But yeah, a lot of teams do want him. Finally, we covered this a bit last night, but we're going to cover it again, and that is the goalkeeper. We've been into Wolves goalkeeper. According to David Ornstein, Arsenal contact Wolves to express interest in signing Dan Bentley, 30-year-old goalkeeper identified by Arsenal as backup option. He's homegrown plus a great character. Wolves would only sell if suitable bid lands so they can reinvest. Now, I checked his market value. It's only 3 million. So I'm hoping Wolves are not expecting something like 20 million or something crazy like that. I don't think that is something we should be spending on a goalkeeper. 10 million, maybe for a backup goalkeeper is enough for me. I would have loved to keep Ramsdale. We still don't know if Ramsdale is going to leave, but since we've been linked to this goalkeeper from Wolves, seems like Ramsdale is going to leave. I don't know which team is going to go to. I've not seen any bids or any offers tabled by any other teams. But hopefully we're able to get something significant for Ramsdale as well. Another player just like Kiwior, Ramsdale did very well for us majority of the time, so I'll be wishing him all the best wherever he goes. But Dan Bentley is the latest goalkeeper we are linked to. We'll be linked to the Spanish goalkeeper. We'll be linked to goalkeepers from Netherlands and Dutch league. But this particular goalkeeper, homegrown, especially if you get rid of our England players, we need to get a couple more into the team. You have to have a certain number of England players homegrown, and let's use homegrown players. You need to have a certain amount, and he's 30 years of age, so that is interesting. When we were first talking about the goalkeeper situation, we were like, are we going to get a younger goalkeeper, 19, 20-year-old who's just going to come and learn from Raya? Are we going to get a more experienced goalkeeper who's going to come in and be happy to be on the bench and just bring his experience and help out Raya whenever needed? Are we going to get competition for Raya like we did Raya with Ramsdale? Seems like you're going for an older goalkeeper. It's weird though. Doesn't seem like he's the best in terms of long passes and aerial ability. Doesn't seem like the best according to the stats. So how are you going to use him? We know it allows the goalkeeper to play out from the back, and for this one, it doesn't seem like he's the best unless we are very lucky and play Raya in every single game, unless that is the plan. I'm sure that is the plan in terms of Raya at 8 Premier League games. But is it also the plan to play him in every single Champions League game, in every single FA Cup game, and then just use this goalkeeper in maybe 1 game, 2 games that Raya is not available, and maybe the Carabao Cup games? I don't know. That could be the case. Karl-Heinz has also signed a new contract, so let's wait and see what happens with that. But as you can see, transfer business is starting to heat up this July. We're expecting a lot of deals this particular month. But that's the latest this morning. We'll be back later on with some more updates. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. We'll really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.